And Scott. Hi, I'm Scott, and this is the 80 Thursdays Project. This is day 17. So today I was playing around with making these round levels in Game Maker to see if it's even possible before I go and design a whole bunch of levels. I've already come across some problems. First of all, the good news. The levels are pretty easy to make. I just made a quick circle in the sprite editor and that was fine. I could easily make it as big or as little as I want, and I can make it perfect for what I think it needs to be. I can also center the camera on just the bottom part of the circle. Again, all this stuff is easy enough to do. I didn't have any worry about that not being able to accomplish. And it looks pretty good. It is very rough at the minute, but that's fine. It's just for prototyping. But I'm confident that this will give the aesthetic that I want to do. The problem comes with the collision masks. So a collision mask is basically an invisible boundary associated with the sprite of the object that is for collisions. So it either can stop other objects from interacting or from crossing over into this boundary. It basically makes what we see as a solid object on the screen actually solid to the other players and objects in the game. Now, Game Maker allows you to alter the masks of these objects pretty easily, but only to a point, because normally collision masks don't need to be that complicated. And so the problem I've come across is that because I've made the circle a one whole piece and a sprite that will have its own collision mask, the collision mask is the circle. And so the player, which is going to be inside the circle, technically is constantly in collision with it, and it won't work. I haven't tried to see what would happen because I just think it's going to crash, and so I don't think there's any point. So that's a problem that I need to solve. I could just go circle levels don't work and move on and go back to making a linear flat level. I do think there is a way to solve this. One of my first solutions is to basically continue the circle as it is, but no collision on it whatsoever, and have an invisible version of the level that runs on a linear path that is in sync with the circular level. So as the circular level goes round, the flat level intersects with it, giving the illusion that the circle has collision to it. This I think would be quite interesting to do, but I worry that this is going to take up a huge amount of memory and resources in order to complete. The other worry as well is that with a circle you can go round and round and round as many times as you want. With a linear level you can't do that, and so I would have to consider that a player might go around the level 100 times, and so I would have to repeat the level invisibly with the collision 100 times so that the player doesn't run out of level and all of a sudden just falls through the world. So that's one possible solution. The other solution I have is that I can maybe break the level off into chunks. So kind of think of it, rather than it being a circle, it's more like a multi-sided shape. And so each of these sides is flat and has collision, and it rotates round the center. I think this might be a better solution, but again, it could be quite resource heavy, and that's something that while all of our phones and consoles and where we play games are very powerful, I still can't have tons and tons and tons of things on the screen. I don't want to crash anyone's device while they're playing it, because that's no fun. So next week I'll be going and building those two, or trying them out with the prototype I've made so far. I didn't do any design work this week at all. I was focusing a little bit on my website. Feel free to go have a look at that. I've been putting the scroll, or the development roll, or whatever I want to call it, up on there so you can actually see what I've been working on over the past 17 days properly. So I was doing that in the morning, but then I was concentrating on building this level for the rest of the afternoon, so there's been no design work at all. I'm going to do some more next week, and I want to develop the player character and the base enemy character in Photoshop to see what they actually would look like on screen, and then I can modify from there. So yeah, this has been day 17 of the 80 Thursdays project. I will see you next time.